Introduction to the Galactic Tyranny. In a galaxy ruled by fear, the Arcturian Empire stood as an unyielding colossus, casting shadows over countless worlds. Their ships, dark behemoths gliding through the stars, were symbols of oppression and despair. With cold, merciless eyes, they surveyed their dominion, where entire civilizations were crushed beneath their iron heel. Among these oppressed was a small, peaceful planet known as Varenthia, home to a native species that had long resisted subjugation. On this fateful day, the air was thick with tension as the inhabitants prepared for what they believed would be another day of survival against their oppressors. However, unbeknownst to them, this day would mark a turning point in their struggle, a day that would ignite a fire within a distant species, humanity. Justin Ward, a seasoned soldier of the Earth Defense Force, EDF, found himself hiding behind rubble in Varenthia's capital city. His heart raced as he witnessed an unspeakable horror unfold before him. The Arcturian death squads moved through the streets like phantoms, executing anyone who dared to defy their rule. Men, women, and even children fell victim to their ruthless efficiency. The screams echoed in his ears, a haunting melody that would forever scar his soul. As he crouched low, fighting back bile rising in his throat, Justin's mind raced with thoughts of escape. He was not just an observer. He was on a mission, an operation to gather intelligence on Arcturian military capabilities. His orders were clear: return with whatever information he could gather about their technology and tactics. But witnessing such brutality made it difficult to focus on his objective. Vengeance began to stir within him. Just then, an explosion rocked the street nearby, sending debris flying through the air. The shockwave knocked Justin off his feet, but he quickly regained his composure and sprinted toward his stealth shuttle parked in an alleyway. He had barely escaped with his life, but he carried with him critical intel that could turn the tide against these tyrants. As he boarded his shuttle and initiated takeoff procedures, Justin's thoughts turned dark. He vowed silently that he would avenge those innocent lives lost today. He would make the Arcturians pay for their unspeakable cruelty. But as he navigated through treacherous asteroid fields back toward Earth, reality set in. This was not just about Varenthia. It was about every free species in the galaxy threatened by Arcturian dominance. Upon reaching EDF Command Center on Earth, Justin burst into the Strategic Operations Room still clad in blood-stained combat armor. General Marcus Graves looked up from a holographic display showing Earth's defenses, his brow furrowed in concern. "Report, Corporal. What in the hell happened out there?" Graves demanded, taking a deep breath to steady himself against memories of horror still fresh in his mind. Justin replied grimly, "Sir, the Arcturians. They're not just conquerors. They're butchers. I saw them gun down civilians, kids. They crushed the whole planet's uprising." Dr. Eliza Hoffman looked up from her datapad. Her eyes widened with alarm as she processed what Justin had just relayed. "Did you get scans of their tech?" Justin nodded solemnly and handed over a data chip containing vital information about Arcturian weaponry and tactics. "Their firepower is beyond anything we've seen. We're outmatched." General Graves plugged the chip into the mainframe computer. Holographic images of Arcturian dreadnoughts and legions of merciless cyborg soldiers filled the display before them. The room fell silent as everyone absorbed this grim reality. "Mother of God," Dr. Hoffman whispered as she studied the scans intensely. "We need to close this gap if we stand any chance." Graves turned sharply to Justin with renewed determination in his eyes. "I'm putting together a Black Ops unit, off-the-books operations. I need someone to lead them, gather intel on Arcturian operations, and hit them where it hurts. You up for it?" Justin's expression hardened as resolve surged within him. "I'll make them pay for what they've done." Thus began their desperate plan, a plan that would unite humanity against an enemy far more powerful than they had ever imagined possible. As whispers of rebellion spread across Earth like wildfire, hope ignited in places long shrouded by despair. But time was not on their side. Every moment wasted allowed Emperor Tyro, ruthless leader of the Arcturian Empire, to tighten his grip on power across galaxies unknown to humanity. Little did they know that this would only be the beginning of an epic struggle, a fight not just for survival, but for freedom itself. As preparations unfolded within EDF Command Center, Justin gathered his hand-picked team of operatives, each one driven by personal motives tied deeply to loss or vengeance against their alien oppressors. They knew they were stepping into a war unlike any other, a war that would test not just their skills, but also their very souls. With each passing hour, shadows loomed larger over Earth's horizon as they plotted their course toward liberation, a course that would lead them straight into the heart of darkness, where tyranny reigned supreme. The human resistance. As the ship ascended from the surface of the desolate planet, Justin Ward felt a mixture of exhilaration and dread. They had narrowly escaped the clutches of the Arcturian forces, but the battle was far from over. The ship's cockpit was filled with the sounds of alarms and the low hum of engines as he maneuvered through the atmosphere, his heart racing with the weight of their mission. "Reese, what's our status?" Justin asked, his eyes glued to the controls as he navigated through the chaos. "Shields are holding for now, but we've got a battle cruiser in orbit that won't take kindly to our escape," Reese replied, his voice tense. "We need to get out of here before they lock onto us." Dr. Eliza Hoffman, seated behind them, was rapidly analyzing the data from Zakar's device. "If we can get this prototype cloaking technology to work, we might stand a chance," she said, her fingers flying over her tablet. "But we'll need time to calibrate it." "Time is something we don't have," Justin shot back as he dodged a barrage of plasma fire from their pursuers. The ship shook violently as an energy blast grazed its hull. "We need to jump to hyperspace now." As they flew through the debris-laden space, Justin's mind raced with thoughts of what lay ahead. They had uncovered a critical piece of information about the Arcturians' plans, a superweapon that could obliterate entire star systems. If they didn't act quickly, it would be too late for not just humanity, but for every free species in the galaxy. "Zakar," Justin called out, turning to the Arcturian defector who had joined their team. "What do you know about this starbreaker? How do we stop it?" Zakar's golden eyes flickered with urgency. "The starbreaker is unlike anything you've ever encountered. It draws power from Nexium, and is designed to annihilate entire fleets in a single strike. If we can disrupt its energy source or sabotage its construction site, we might have a chance." "Then that's what we'll do," Justin declared, determination hardening his voice. "We'll gather our forces and strike at their heart." As they broke through the atmosphere and into the vastness of space, Justin initiated a hyperspace jump toward Earth. The stars blurred into streaks of light as they traveled faster than light itself, leaving behind the chaos of battle for a brief moment. Upon arriving at EDF Command Center on Earth, Justin and his team were met with a flurry of activity. Generals and strategists were deep in discussion about their next moves against the Arcturians. The atmosphere was charged with urgency and fear. Everyone understood that time was running out. General Marcus Graves stood at the head of a large holographic table displaying various star systems under Arcturian control. His brow was furrowed in thought as he reviewed reports from different fronts. "Corporal Ward," Graves called out as Justin entered the command room. "I need your report on what happened out there." Justin stepped forward, his heart pounding as he recounted their harrowing escape and what they had learned about the Starbreaker. He could see skepticism in some faces, but also a glimmer of hope igniting in others. "This is more than just a weapon. It's a symbol of Arcturian dominance," Dr. Hoffman added as she displayed Zakar's data on the main screen. "If we can disrupt its construction or sabotage its power source, we might cripple their entire war effort." Graves nodded thoughtfully before turning to Zakar. "And you're certain you can guide us to its location?" "Yes," Zakar replied confidently. "I can provide intel on their defenses and help you navigate through their stronghold." With that assurance, Graves began formulating a plan. "We'll assemble a Black Ops unit, highly trained operatives who can infiltrate their stronghold undetected. Ustin felt a surge of adrenaline at those words. He would lead this mission alongside Zakar and his team. They would strike back against their oppressors and show them that humanity would no longer cower in fear. The next few days were filled with intense training and preparation for the upcoming mission. Justin led his team through simulations and drills designed to test their limits and prepare them for what lay ahead. Each member brought unique skills. Reese was an expert marksman. Guan specialized in demolitions. Eliza was invaluable for her knowledge of alien technology. And Zakar's insights provided crucial information about Arcturian tactics. As they honed their skills together, camaraderie blossomed among them, a bond forged in shared purpose and mutual respect. One evening after an exhausting training session, Justin gathered everyone around for a briefing. "We're not just fighting for ourselves," he said, looking each member in the eye. "We're fighting for every species oppressed by these tyrants across the galaxy. We have to believe that our actions will inspire others to rise up against them." The team nodded in agreement. Determination radiated from each member as they prepared mentally for what lay ahead. Finally, the day arrived when they would embark on their mission to infiltrate the Arcturian stronghold where the Starbreaker was being constructed. As they boarded their stealth shuttle once more, Justin felt both excitement and anxiety coursing through him. "Remember your training," he reminded them as he took his seat at the controls. "Stay sharp and trust each other." With that final pep talk echoing in their minds, they launched into space once again, this time toward destiny itself. As they approached their target, a heavily fortified asteroid base surrounded by swirling debris, Justin initiated cloaking protocols while Zakar provided guidance through comms. "Stay low and keep your distance from patrols," Zakar instructed urgently as they navigated through treacherous asteroid fields filled with Arcturian ships. With bated breath, they maneuvered closer until finally reaching an access point hidden within an asteroid crevice and narrow opening leading into darkness. "Let's move," Justin commanded as they disembarked from their shuttle, weapons drawn and hearts pounding with anticipation. The darkness enveloped them like an old shroud as they crept deeper into enemy territory, each footstep echoing ominously in silence broken only by distant machinery humming ominously. Suddenly alarms blared throughout the facility. Their presence had been detected. "Move! Move!" Justin shouted as chaos erupted around them. Arcturian guards poured into view from all directions. They fought valiantly against overwhelming odds, plasma bolts flying past them like angry hornets, while explosions rocked nearby structures. But amidst it all burned one singular thought: freedom must prevail. As they pressed forward through waves of enemies toward their ultimate goal, the Starbreaker, they knew that failure was not an option, not just for themselves but for countless lives hanging in balance across galaxies yet unseen. The discovery of Nexium. The ship's engines roared to life as Justin Ward wrestled with the unfamiliar controls. His heart raced, not just from the adrenaline of their escape, but from the looming threat of the Arcturian battlecruiser now in orbit. They had narrowly evaded capture, but the danger was far from over. "Reese, what's our status?" Justin barked, his eyes darting between the control panel and the viewport, where the massive silhouette of the cruiser loomed ominously against the backdrop of stars. "Shields are holding, but we can't take another hit," Reese replied, sweat beading on his forehead. "We need to find a way to get out of here before they lock onto us." Dr. Eliza Hoffman, still reeling from the chaos they had just escaped, began analyzing the strange device Zakar had given them. "If this cloaking prototype works as intended, we might just slip past their sensors," she said, her fingers flying over her tablet as she worked to integrate it into the ship's systems. Zakar, seated beside Justin, nodded solemnly. "We must act quickly. The longer we linger here, the more likely they will discover our position." With a determined nod, Justin initiated the cloaking sequence. The ship shimmered momentarily before becoming nearly invisible to the naked eye. "Let's hope this works," he muttered as he piloted them toward a safe trajectory away from the cruiser. As they broke free from the gravitational pull of the planet and into open space, a sense of relief washed over them, until alarms blared once again. Multiple contacts approaching. Reese shouted, his voice laced with panic. "They're sending fighters after us." Justin's heart sank. "We can't let them catch us." "Eliza, can you enhance our cloaking field?" "I'll try," she replied, her fingers moving rapidly across her tablet as she worked to optimize their stealth capabilities. The ship shook violently as enemy fighters closed in, firing plasma bolts that lit up space like fireworks. Justin maneuvered expertly through debris fields and asteroids, while Eliza continued her work behind him. "Almost there," she exclaimed just as a bolt struck their shields, sending a jolt through the ship. "Hang on," Justin shouted as he executed a sharp turn, narrowly avoiding a collision with an asteroid. The fighters were relentless. They were closing in fast. Just as Eliza completed her modifications, Justin felt a surge of hope. "Now, activate cloaking." With a flick of a switch, the ship vanished from sight. The enemy fighters flew past them without noticing their presence. "Nice work," Reese cheered, slumping back in his seat with relief. "Let's get back to Earth," Justin said firmly. "We need to regroup and plan our next move." Upon returning to EDF Command Center on Earth, Justin and his team were greeted with a mixture of awe and disbelief at their survival and success in gathering critical intel on Arcturian technology. General Marcus Graves stood at the center of a large holographic display showing various star systems under Arcturian control. His expression shifted from concern to intrigue as Justin shared details about Zekar's revelations regarding the Starbreaker and its construction. "We need to act swiftly," Graves said decisively. "If what Zekar says is true, and I have no reason to doubt him, we're facing an existential threat unlike anything we've encountered before." Dr. Hoffman chimed in with urgency. "We need to focus on Nexium, the source of their power. If we can disrupt their supply lines or sabotage their mining operations, we can weaken them significantly." Justin nodded in agreement. "I saw firsthand how they'd harvest Nexium from planets like Varenthia. We need to target those facilities." Graves turned to Zakar, who stood quietly among them. "Can you provide us with intel on their mining operations?" "Yes," Zakar replied confidently. "I can guide you to several key facilities where Nexium is extracted and processed." With that assurance, Graves began formulating a plan for a series of Black Ops missions aimed at crippling Arcturian resources. The next few days were filled with intense training and preparation for these missions. Justin led his team through simulations designed to test their limits and prepare them for what lay ahead. Each member brought unique skills. Reese was an expert marksman. Guan specialized in demolitions. Eliza was invaluable for her knowledge of alien technology, and Zakar's insights provided crucial information about Arcturian tactics. As they honed their skills together, camaraderie blossomed among them, a bond forged in shared purpose and mutual respect. One evening after an exhausting training session, Justin gathered everyone around for a briefing. "We're not just fighting for ourselves," he said, looking each member in the eye. "We're fighting for every species oppressed by these tyrants across the galaxy. We have to believe that our actions will inspire others to rise up against them." The team nodded in agreement. Determination radiated from each member as they prepared mentally for what lay ahead. Finally, it was time for their first mission. An assault on an Arcturian mining facility located on a remote asteroid belt known for its rich deposits of Nexium. As they boarded their stealth shuttle once more, Justin felt both excitement and anxiety coursing through him. "Remember your training," he reminded them as he took his seat at the controls. "Stay sharp and trust each other." With that final pep talk echoing in their minds, they launched into space once again, this time toward destiny itself. As they approached their target, a heavily fortified mining facility surrounded by swirling debris, Justin initiated cloaking protocols while Zakar provided guidance through comms. "Stay low and keep your distance from patrols," Zakar instructed urgently as they navigated through treacherous asteroid fields filled with Arcturian ships. With bated breath, they maneuvered closer until finally reaching an access point hidden within an asteroid crevice, a narrow opening leading into darkness. "Let's move," Justin commanded as they disembarked from their shuttle, weapons drawn and hearts pounding with anticipation. The darkness enveloped them like an old shroud as they crept deeper into enemy territory, each footstep echoing ominously in silence broken only by distant machinery humming ominously. Suddenly alarms blared throughout the facility. Their presence had been detected. "Move! Move!" Justin shouted as chaos erupted around them. Arcturian guards poured into view from all directions. They fought valiantly against overwhelming odds, plasma bolts flying past them like angry hornets while explosions rocked nearby structures. But amidst it all burned one singular thought: freedom must prevail. As they pressed forward through waves of enemies toward their ultimate goal, the Nexium processing plant, they knew that failure was not an option, not just for themselves but for countless lives hanging in balance across galaxies yet unseen. Part 4. The Betrayal and New Allies. The battle raged fiercely within the confines of the Arcturian mining facility. Justin Ward led his team through narrow corridors, filled with smoke and chaos as plasma fire erupted around them like angry lightning strikes. Each step forward was fraught with danger. Every corner could hide an enemy waiting to ambush them. "Watch your six," Rhys shouted as he fired off several rounds into a group of advancing Arcturian guards. The sound echoed ominously in the enclosed space, while sparks flew from damaged machinery overhead. Justin ducked behind cover just as another volley of plasma bolts whizzed past him. He peered around his barricade at Zakar, who was busy hacking into an access terminal that would allow them deeper access into the facility. "How much longer?" Justin called out over the din of battle. "Just a few more seconds," Zakar replied breathlessly as he worked furiously at the console. Suddenly alarms blared louder than ever, an indication that reinforcements were on their way. "We need to move now," Guan yelled urgently while reloading her weapon. With one final keystroke, Zakar grinned triumphantly as doors slid open, revealing a path leading deeper into enemy territory. "Go! Go!" They sprinted down dimly lit hallways lined with strange alien machinery that hummed ominously around them, a stark reminder of how far behind humanity had fallen technologically speaking. As they reached another control room filled with screens displaying real-time data about Nexium extraction operations across multiple planets, Zakar froze mid-stride, his expression shifting from excitement to horror. "What is it?" Eliza asked anxiously, noticing his pallor change dramatically. They're preparing something big," Zakar stammered, pointing at one screen displaying schematics for a massive superweapon, the Starbreaker prototype looming ominously larger than anything else displayed around it. "What do you mean?" Justin pressed urgently, trying to grasp what this meant for their mission, and for humanity itself. "They're combining Nexium with advanced weaponry technology. It could destroy entire star systems," Zakar exclaimed, shaking visibly, now realizing just how dire this situation truly was. Dr. Hoffman stepped forward, examining data closely before turning back towards everyone else with determination etched across her features. "We have to sabotage this facility immediately before it becomes operational." Just then, another wave of Arcturian soldiers burst into the room, guns blazing. "Take cover," Justin shouted, diving behind an array of consoles, while Rhys returned fire, suppressing enemy advances, momentarily allowing everyone else time needed to regroup. Guan quickly moved towards another console, trying desperately to access security protocols, when suddenly she gasped. "There's something else here, a hidden communication line." "What do you mean?" Eliza asked, glancing over curiously amidst chaos surrounding them. "I think I can tap into it. Maybe even send out a distress signal or call for reinforcements," Guan replied, frantically working at her console, trying to make sense out everything happening around her. Before anyone could respond further, though, the door slammed shut behind them, trapping everyone inside. "No, we're cut off," Zakar yelled, panic rising within him. Justin gritted his teeth, feeling frustration boiling beneath surface, knowing time wasn't on their side. Guan, keep working. Everyone else, hold this position. We can't let them breach our defenses. As bullets ricocheted off walls around them, the tension escalated rapidly. Each second felt like an eternity. Suddenly, another figure appeared amidst chaos. A tall, imposing silhouette stepping forward from shadows, casting long, eerie reflection across floor beneath bright fluorescent lights illuminating room. It was NEX, the ruthless cyborg assassin sent by Emperor Tyro himself. You will not escape this time, humans, NEX declared coldly, voice echoing throughout chamber, sending chills down spines everyone present. Justin felt adrenaline surge through him. He couldn't let fear take hold now, not when so much was at stake. NEX, he shouted defiantly, raising pulse rifle, aiming directly towards Cyborg's chest. But before he could pull trigger, NEX lunged forward faster than anyone anticipated, grabbing hold of Reese, throwing him against wall, effortlessly causing shockwave ripple throughout entire room. No, Guan screamed, rushing towards fallen comrade, but NEX turned swiftly, targeting her next. In that moment, everything seemed lost, hope dwindling rapidly, until suddenly another figure emerged. A cloaked figure wielding dual blades, slicing through air, effortlessly dispatching several guards surrounding group before finally confronting NEX head-on. NEX, the figure shouted, voice resonating powerfully throughout chamber, drawing attention away from humans, momentarily allowing everyone else time to breathe again. Justin recognized this newcomer instantly. It was Zakar's sister, a legendary warrior known throughout Galaxy for unmatched combat skills. You dared challenge me? NEX snarled, glaring down at newcomer, with contempt evident across mechanical visage. Yes, she replied simply, steely resolve shining brightly within eyes meeting gaze without fear whatsoever. What followed next was nothing short of spectacular. Blades clashing against metal echoed loudly, filling entire chamber, while sparks flew everywhere, illuminating darkness surrounding combatants, creating mesmerizing display, showcasing true mastery, martial arts being executed effortlessly before everyone watching, helplessly unable to intervene directly. Meanwhile, Guan managed to reach Reese, pulling him back towards safety, while Dar Hoffman began working tirelessly, attempting to restore power systems within facility, hoping somehow regain control, situation spiraling out hand quickly. After what felt like hours battling against relentless waves enemies, finally NEX fell defeated, collapsing onto floor lifelessly amidst wreckage littering ground around him, leaving behind eerie silence, filling air, thick tension still lingering despite victory achieved momentarily. Breathing heavily, everyone exchanged glances, unsure how proceed next, unsure whether trust newfound ally or not. But one thing remained clear. They needed regroup, quickly formulate plan moving forward if they hoped to survive impending doom approaching rapidly upon horizon, looming ever closer, threatening engulf entire galaxy whole unless stopped immediately. Zakar stepped forward, cautiously addressing sister directly. You shouldn't have come here. It's too dangerous. I couldn't let you face this alone, brother, she replied fiercely, determination burning brightly within her eyes, unwavering despite odds stacked heavily against them, all now feeling weight responsibility pressing down upon shoulders collectively shared amongst group, gathered together, united front, ready fight back against tyranny oppressing galaxy far too long already. We need your help, Justin interjected, breaking tension-filled silence, hanging thickly between everyone present, now aware stakes higher than ever before, realized fully understanding gravity situation unfolding right before eyes, witnessing first-hand horrors inflicted upon innocent lives lost forevermore if didn't act swiftly enough, prevent catastrophe looming dangerously close, threatening consume everything cherished, hold dear. Together, they would rise up united, stronger than ever before, forging new alliances, fighting back against oppressive forces, determined to reclaim freedom lost long ago, paving way brighter future ahead, filled hope, resilience, courage, standing tall against darkness, threatening engulf everything once loved, cherished dearly.